Hey everybody, hope you're doing well out there. I wanted to follow up on an Instagram post I made a while back. I don't know if people saw this, but there's been a lot of phone calls to a service that I am sort of like a part-time employee for, which is called the Trumpet Player Curse Removal Hotline. And at that service, there are just so many calls for certain topics. I wanted to kind of give you guys a heads up that if you have some of these similar problems, that I'm going to just lay out a couple of solutions that you can do in lieu of calling the service. And I think that might just save everybody some time on hold. And so without further ado, let me give you these solutions so that you know how to correct some of these problems. And especially with Halloween right around the corner, you're going to probably see a lot more of these situations.
So let's go through them.
Alright, number one is an embouchure curse. This occurs all the time. People think that their embouchures are great. They wake up one day, boom, curse. It happens to the best of us. So here's the remedy that we usually give as kind of a boilerplate remedy. You're going to need to find a raven feather. And once you find that raven feather, you go ahead and waft your lips very gently. Give it a nice waft, and then you're going to take your tunic off and you're going to soak that in some warm birch sap. After that, you're going to press the wet cloth, the birch sap soaked tunic, to your lips for approximately 69 hours. And that should do the trick. For a lot of people, I think that's a fairly easy fix. Okay, number two, accuracy curse. You wake up one morning, you go to play some notes, nothing is happening, you're all over the place. Very common, easy fix. You're going to do a potion of honey, coneflower, and myrrh, and then you're going to pour all of that stuff mixed up through your trumpet bell. Give it a good rinse, you should be good to go. All right, number three. This is a potent one, high range curse. So you wake up one day, you go to practice, you're doing your warm-ups, next thing you know, you can't play any high notes. Here's your remedy. You're going to need a substantial blood sacrifice for this. So I would say your best bet would be to call some of the local farms in your area, see if they have any livestock that might be worth buying, and I think you'll be happy in the end with that sacrifice, because just think of all the trumpet gains that you'll get from that. All right, number four is the flexibility curse. This is also very common. You wake up, you try to play, you're feeling a little stiff, it doesn't go away. You probably have the flexibility curse. So what you're going to do is you're going to mash some clove, some garlic, some sage into a paste, and then you're going to spread that paste on your lips. Go to sleep for 69 hours, make sure it's very dark, and then you should wake up with a very heightened sense of flexibility. So not only will it return just to your basic, you're actually going to get more than you asked for. So you'll have that at dawn the next day, and that should last for 420 days. Number five, sticky valve curse. This is really annoying. The remedy is simple. This is probably, a lot of people don't realize they have practice room elves that are often playing games on them. It happens to everybody, and a lot of people don't even realize that there's these little elves that live in your practice room. And they're always kind of messing with people, and sometimes they do stuff with your valve, because usually around Halloween the elves like to come out and cause mischief. So we're going to skip that one for now. Number six, though, is more of a serious one. This is a rhythm curse. You are working on something, and all of a sudden you just feel like your sense of time isn't there anymore. I hate when that happens. You're going to just recite this phrase.
Pokey wookie, wookie looky, looky hokey pokey.
The only thing is you have to recite that 42,069 times. So that can take a while, but let me repeat it again. It's
Wookie wookie, wookie looky, looky hokey pokey.
And I've found that works for some people. So this one's a tough one, the spooky tone curse. Spooky tone curse is when you need to get rid of like that weird sound that you're making. You're playing something, but you feel like it's conjuring spirits. That's a spooky tone. The way to get rid of that is you need to light 100 candles as fast as possible, because there's probably a ghost living in your trumpet somewhere. And that's how you're going to get rid of that. Make sure that the candles are lit quickly, though, because if you take your time and like get all romantic with it, then you're kind of like seducing the ghost, and you don't want that. All right, number eight, multiple tonguing curse. This happens when you're trying to, do Scheherazade or something really fast, and all of a sudden it's just like blah, 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 blah. You can't play it anymore. Here's your remedy. You're going to arrange some crystals in a triangle pattern for a triple tonguing curse and an X for a double tonguing curse. Okay? If you want to fix your fanfare tonguing, say you're working on that section of the Arbin book that nobody practices, then you're going to arrange your crystals in a castle formation, which is a little bit different, and I'll leave that up to you to decide what it looks like a castle. But once you've made your shapes, go out to your barn and get some goat beard trimmings. And then you're gonna toss those into a burning fire, and that should do the trick. Okay, just a couple more here. Number 9 is an endurance curse. This one's the worst. So you're playing, your chops feel tired after like one phrase, you're like, what's going on? So here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna double check your monthly contributions to the Dark Lords. Some people, you know, have retirement accounts and they have money going here. They forget that we need to appease the Dark Lords of trumpet playing. It's an often overlooked issue in our community. So please just check in with your tax consultant and they can let you know what you need to do. People forget too that a winter solstice lump sum is just not enough to appease these lords. So I would restructure to more of like an auto debit monthly contribution. Even if it's a smaller but regular amount, that's probably better. And the last one is the jazz curse. So if you find yourself listening to a lot of jazz, you might all of a sudden realize you have a curse, because maybe that wasn't your music of choice, but it's like all you want to listen to is jazz, especially jazz trumpet. That can be a significant problem, and I would recommend some neurological counseling, I guess is the best way to go. Significant neurological rewiring via heavy and frequent doses of ayahuasca. So that's a hallucinogen that should set you right. You just have to acquire it. If you need access to a shaman and you have some concerns about acquiring ayahuasca, we can help put you in touch with the shaman that will give you that. Okay, so hopefully those top 10 will relieve some concerns if you have curses coming up in the next few days before Halloween. If you find that you have a curse that I did not talk about, please reach out 1-800-TPT-CRSE. That's 1-800-TPT-CRSE. Trumpet Curse operators are standing by.
Girl, you got that yummy yum, that yummy yum, that yummy yum. Say the word, hold on, wait.